You have been putting yourself last for far too long. You've been showing up for everyone else, but not for yourself. You've been investing your energy into building someone else's dream while letting your own fade into the background. And deep down, you know it. You feel that quiet frustration inside, that nagging thought that says, what about me? Yet you silence it, distract yourself, and convince yourself that one day you'll get around to it. But here's the truth. Time is not waiting for you. Every day you ignore your own growth, your own potential, you're writing a story you will not want to read later. You can keep postponing your goals, you can keep burying your desires under excuses, but one day you will wake up and realize you have been living a life designed by fear, comfort, and other people's expectations. That realization will hurt more than any failure could have. Ignoring yourself isn't just about skipping self-care or neglecting your passions. It's about refusing to acknowledge that you were born with a purpose. It's about telling yourself you'll start later when later is not promised. It's about letting opportunities slip through your fingers because you didn't think you were ready. But here's the irony. Readiness is born in action, not in waiting. Every time you say yes to what doesn't serve you, you are saying no to what could transform you. Every time you let fear dictate your next step, you shrink into a version of yourself that doesn't reflect your true capacity. You can't grow if you keep hiding from your own potential. You can't become the person you're meant to be while ignoring the call within you. Your dreams don't vanish when you ignore them. They wait. They wait silently, but with each passing year, they become harder to reach. Your body ages, your energy changes, and your window of opportunity shifts. The longer you wait, the more you will have to fight against regret instead of fighting for possibility. You have one life, one chance to decide what it will stand for. You cannot live it for your parents, your friends, or your boss. You cannot live it to simply maintain comfort. Comfort is not the goal, fulfillment is. And fulfillment only comes when you honor yourself enough to invest in your own growth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's scary, even when it feels like no one else understands. One day, you will be faced with a choice. Either you will regret that you never tried, or you will be grateful that you did. The version of you who stepped forward will thank you for not ignoring your calling. The version of you who stayed silent will beg for a second chance that will never come. That's the reality you are creating right now in this very moment. The time to choose yourself is not next week, not next year, it's now. Every moment you wait is another moment you hand over to regret. You are not here to simply exist. You are here to live in a way that makes you proud when you look back. The only question is, will you answer that call, or will you keep ignoring yourself until it's too late? Time will not wait for you. This is not just a motivational catchphrase, it's a fact of life. Every second you're reading this, the clock is moving forward. It doesn't pause for your hesitation. It doesn't slow down while you figure things out, and it doesn't rewind to give you another shot. Whether you decide to move toward your goals or you decide to stay stuck, time keeps passing. That's why ignoring yourself is so dangerous. You are not just postponing your dreams, you are actively letting your limited time slip away. People often operate under the illusion that they have endless time to get things right. They think, I'll start when I'm ready, or I'll work on my goals after things settle down. But life never really settles down. There will always be bills to pay, distractions to handle, and unexpected challenges to face. Waiting for the perfect time is a trap because perfection never comes. And while you wait, your life keeps moving forward. The opportunities you think will always be there start disappearing. The energy you think you'll always have begins to fade. The enthusiasm that feels fresh now begins to weaken under the weight of routine and doubt. When you ignore yourself, you're not staying in the same place. You're falling behind. Time creates distance. The longer you wait to take action, the further away your goals seem. You're not just standing still. The world is moving on without you. People who are no more talented than you are seizing opportunities because they decided to act instead of wait. They are building momentum while you are losing it. And momentum is powerful. Once it's gone, it takes far more effort to restart than it would have to simply keep going. Think about your past for a moment. There were ideas you once had that you never acted on. Maybe you wanted to start a business, learn a skill, or improve your health. You told yourself, you'd start soon. Now, years have passed. If you had taken action back then, where would you be today? The difference between where you are now and where you could have been is measured in choices made or not made over time. And that gap is the cost of inaction. Here's the truth. There will come a day when you run out of tomorrows. There will come a day when you physically cannot do the things you wish you had done. There will come a day when you look back and realize that the door you thought was always open has been shut forever. That is why you must stop ignoring yourself. The discomfort of acting now will never be as painful as the regret of knowing you waited too long. Time is impartial. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor, educated or uneducated, young or old. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day, but not everyone uses them the same way. The ones who achieve fulfillment are those who understand the urgency of now. They don't waste years waiting for inspiration. They create it through consistent action. The moment you decide to act, you change your trajectory. You may not see results instantly, but you start shifting the course of your life. Each day you work toward your goals compounds into something greater over time. But if you delay, if you keep telling yourself you'll start later, you'll wake up one day to find that later never came. The painful truth is this: you cannot negotiate with time. You cannot ask for it back. You cannot buy it, borrow it, or steal it. Once it's gone forever. That's why you must stop wasting it on indecision, procrastination, and self-neglect. If you truly value your life, you must value your time. Every choice you make is either moving you closer to your best self or pushing you further into regret. The clock is ticking, and the question is not whether time will pass. It's whether you will use it to build a life you'll be proud of. Ignoring yourself creates long-term regret, not the kind of regret that comes from small mistakes or temporary missteps, but the deep, lingering kind that stays with you for years. This is the regret that creeps into your mind late at night when everything is quiet and you can't distract yourself anymore. It's the heavy what if that follows you around, whispering about the opportunities you missed, the dreams you buried, and the person you could have become. When you ignore yourself, you're not just saying no to a single opportunity, you're setting a pattern. That pattern becomes a habit, and that habit shapes the life you live. Every time you choose to silence your desires, you train yourself to settle. Every time you put your needs last, you make it easier to do it again tomorrow. Before long, years pass and you look back, realizing you have been living on autopilot with no real intention for your own growth. The pain of that realization is far greater than the discomfort of trying and failing. Failure at least teaches you something, moves you forward, and leaves you with the dignity of having tried. Regret, on the other hand, leaves you stuck in the past, replaying the same scenes in your mind, knowing you can never go back to change them. That is a wound that doesn't heal easily. Ignoring yourself often feels harmless in the moment. You think, I'll do it later, or it's not urgent right now. But what you're really doing is postponing your life. The problem is life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Opportunities expire, circumstances change, people move on. What is available to you today may not be available a year from now or even a month from now. Regret comes when you realize that you had the chance to act and you didn't. It's not always about the big dreams. It can be about the smaller, everyday choices too. The decision to work on your health now instead of later. The decision to invest in a skill, take a risk, or speak up for yourself. Each choice shapes your future, and each missed opportunity is a piece of yourself you gave away. And here's the thing, when you ignore yourself long enough, you start to believe that your dreams aren't even possible anymore. You convince yourself that you missed your chance, that you're too old, too inexperienced, or too far behind. But in most cases, that's not the truth. It's just the story regret tells you. Regret doesn't just haunt you about the past, it poisons your belief in the future. The saddest part is that many people only realize this when it's too late to change it. They reach the end of their lives and understand that their biggest failures weren't the risks they took. It was the ones they didn't. They would give anything to go back and try, even if it meant failing, because at least then they would know they had lived fully. But you have the chance now. You are living in the moment that future you will remember. The decisions you make today will either give you peace when you look back or fill you with regret. Every day is a fresh opportunity to stop ignoring yourself and start honoring your dreams, no matter how small the step is. The path out of regret starts with one thing: paying attention to what you truly want and having the courage to move toward it. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. You just have to stop pushing your own needs and dreams to the back of the line. Start choosing actions that align with who you want to be, not just what's easiest in the moment. The truth is, the discomfort of discipline and effort is temporary, but the pain of regret is permanent. It doesn't fade with time. It often grows stronger because the gap between what you have and what you wanted widens. That's why ignoring yourself is so dangerous. You're not just wasting time, you're building a future you won't want to live in. Comfort is the enemy of fulfillment. That might sound strange at first because comfort feels good. It's familiar, it's safe. It's that warm, easy space where nothing challenges you, nothing stretches you, and nothing forces you to confront your weaknesses. But here's the hard truth: nothing grows in comfort. Fulfillment isn't born in safety. It's forged in challenge, discomfort, and risk. When you choose comfort over growth, you're making a silent agreement with yourself to stay the same. And staying the same might feel fine for a while, but over time, it turns into restlessness, frustration, and emptiness. Why? Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know you're not using your full potential. And humans are wired for progress. Without it, we feel stuck and dissatisfied, no matter how comfortable life looks on the outside. Comfort tells you you don't need to try. Fulfillment whispers, you were made for more. Comfort says, stay where you are, it's safe here. Fulfillment says, step forward, it's risky, but it's worth it. These two forces are always in conflict, and whichever one you feed will shape the rest of your life. The problem with comfort is that it's deceptive. It tricks you into thinking you're okay because nothing feels urgent. Your job might pay the bills, your relationships might be stable, your routines might be predictable, but underneath that surface, you feel an ache for something greater. You think about what could be, but then you quickly push those thoughts aside because pursuing them would require change, and change means leaving comfort behind. The truth is, comfort is not neutral, it's dangerous. The longer you stay in it, the harder it is to leave. It creates habits of avoidance. It dulls your ambition. It convinces you that good enough is all you should expect from life. But good enough is the graveyard of greatness. As if you settle there, you will never experience the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you gave your all. Fulfillment requires trade-offs. It demands that you risk failure, criticism, and uncertainty. It asks you to do things you've never done before, to push through days when you feel like quitting, and to endure moments when you doubt yourself completely. None of that is comfortable, but every breakthrough, every success, every deep sense of pride in yourself, it all comes from walking through that discomfort instead of running from it. Think about the moments in your life when you felt truly alive. They weren't the moments you were lying on the couch, scrolling through your phone, or staying in your safe bubble. They were the moments you did something bold, something that scared you a little. Maybe it was starting a new chapter in life, speaking up when your voice shook, committing to a goal even when you didn't have it all figured out. Those moments left a mark because they were rooted in growth, not comfort. The dangerous part is that comfort often disguises itself as peace. You tell yourself you're happy because you've eliminated stress, avoided risks, and created predictability. But peace and comfort aren't the same thing. Peace comes from alignment, living in a way that honors who you really are. Comfort comes from avoidance, avoiding change, avoiding challenges, avoiding the possibility of failure. And while peace fills you with joy, comfort eventually leaves you with regret. If you truly want fulfillment, you have to be willing to feel uncomfortable regularly. You have to be willing to hear no more than you'd like, to feel fear and move forward anyway, to risk looking foolish in pursuit of something meaningful. Every fulfilled person you admire has paid that price. They stepped out of the comfort zone long before they had guarantees, and they keep stepping until their life reflected their vision. Ignoring yourself is the fastest route to a life filled with what ifs. You have the power right now to break free from the patterns that keep you small, to silence the excuses, and to act on the potential you've been burying. Every day you choose yourself, you take one more step away from regret and one step closer to a life of meaning, fulfillment, and pride. The decision is yours, and the time is now